Good afternoon, folks. My name is Firt, Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, we'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you today. We will set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In those cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. Do you have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel? If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. Elizabeth Misseldine. You're good. Morning, young lady. What's your date of birth?
1991.
The charge is trespass. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Please.
I'll appoint the PD, state.
Driving with license suspended, adjudication in 2014, as well as a flea elude Leo with lights irons active, adjudication of guilt in 14, pretrial diversion in 2012 for possession of cocaine, and that's it, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's the one.
Right.
Years and years ago.
Yep, I'm with you, Elizabeth. Hang on. All right. I have an address for you on Fulton Avenue. Is that where you live?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I live off Hollow, but that's like the legal address where all my mail and stuff goes.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yeah, I have my own cleaning service.
Okay. I'll set your bond at $500. I'll have you back in court on March 29th. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Okay, so if it's $500, so it's like what, $100 to get out?
That's usually what it is with a bondsman, but that's not what I do for a living. You'll have to check with them, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Dawn Wilson. After Ms. Wilson, what's your date of birth?
2/13/82.
Dawn, the charge is driving under the influence. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Private public defender.
Okay, I'll point the PD. State.
Showing a 2017 DUI that was reduced to a careless driving, and a 2015 DUI with property damage, adjudication of guilt in 2015, adjudication withheld in 2005 for interfere with custody of minor / kidnap minor, where 5 years probation was put, and adjudication withheld for another count of the same charge.
Okay. Dawn, I have an address for you on Cavalier Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
That's correct.
How long have you lived there?
37 years.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
Insurance company and also McDonald's.
Okay. All right, Dawn, I'll set your bond at $1,000. We're going to have you back in court on the 3rd of April. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Kenneth Begaris. Want to, sir, what's your date of birth?
1/4/95.
And if the charge is battery being domestic in nature, there's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
No priors, Your Honor.
And Ken, I have an address for you on B.W. Stevenson Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
A couple of weeks now.
Okay, and you lived there with Miss Hamblin?
No, she was staying with me in my RV.
Were you living together is the question.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm an auto mechanic.
Where do you do that?
I'm self-employed. I do mobile mechanics.
Okay. All right. We'll set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond is that while the charge is pending, you'll have no contact with Miss Hamblin. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact her through any social media. Don't have a third person contact her. Don't go where she lives. Don't go where she works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact, so if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. She may tell them she's not interested in pursuing this matter, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped, and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold the day up until 4 p.m. so that if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. I'm going to have you back in court on April 3rd. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Richard Sword. Afternoon, Richard. What's your date of birth?
12/24/1959.
Richard, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Scaglione. Apparently, you failed to appear in drug court on 3 charges: possession of controlled substance, possession of paraphernalia, uttering forged bills. Did you have a public defender on that case, Richard?
Yes, sir.
All right. Appoint the public defender. The bond on those is no bond. You'll be back in court this Thursday, and Judge Scaglione will figure out what to do next, all right?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
March 14th. Thank you. John Taylor. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
042192.
John, this morning I have this afternoon possession of controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Private counsel.
All right, state.
I'm showing a conviction 2017 for dealing traffic stolen property, where county jail 9 months was spent, and adjudication of guilt for condition of pre-trial release. Adjudication of guilt is 17 as well as a fraudulent use of credit card. Adjudication of guilt 17. 1 day county jail for a no valid driver's license in 2016, and no other history, Your Honor.
He's got an open petty theft on our docket.
Okay.
1924. Okay. All right. And John, I have an address for you on Roble Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yeah.
How long have you been there?
Year.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Electrical hydraulic. At Seaside.
Okay. On this case, I'm going to leave your bonds per the schedule, which is $2,000 on the controlled substance, $1,000 on the paraphernalia. That's a total of $3,000. This case will be back on April 2nd. I'll then take notice of the fact that you have an open petty theft on my docket, for which you had a notice to appear. Judge, number 1, when you're out of custody and have open criminal charges, is don't pick up new criminal charges. It appears to me that you have. Therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in 19 MM 184. We're going to hold you without bond on that case. It's set for the 2nd of May. I'm going to move it up to the 11th of April. The public defender will come see about your misdemeanor case. You'll be back in front of me on April 11th. We'll see if we can't get that one resolved so you can focus on your other issues, all right?
I was never bonded out on the...
I understand, but you were never in custody either, so I get to revoke your pretrial release. So you're going to be in jail without bond until April 11th, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Desnick Williams. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
7/14/78.
All right. Mr. Williams, I have a warrant for you out of Pinellas County. The judge that issued that warrant found probable cause for a VOP and set your bond at no bond. They can't change that. We're going to let the folks in Pinellas know that you're here and ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. If you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Okay, sir. I just was released from the Department of Correction February the 1st.
Okay. Did you have something pending here?
Well, it was I was on probation back in 2016 from Pinellas. I got transferred to Hernando. I just released February the 1st, and I don't know why when I was doing time in the Department of Correction why they didn't like.
And I don't have any answers for you, Mr. Williams. The answers will be in Pinellas County, so you got to go there to figure it out, okay? All right, thank you. Jeffrey Hendrickson. Morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
Okay, so he was at first appearance yesterday, and so I wanted to look at this case because it was mostly done, and you got a new law. So Jeff, what I'm going to do on this case is I'm going to set a bond of $100, okay? So you can get out. I'm going to have it back. Where's in the new case? Hang on a second. This is.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Just hang on, Jeff. There's not much you can say to make this better, and it's going to be pretty good anyway. Okay, so hang on a second.
I appreciate that.
Okay. I'm gonna grab his new case too, Bridget. So his new case right now is 19MM762. It's currently on Judge Ruby's docket for the 4th of April. Let's move that to the 11th. And set this on the 11th of April as well for status. So I set you a $100 bond, Jeffrey. $100 gets you out. When you get out, I want you to finish up the DUI probation or work on finishing it up. Both of your cases will be in front of me on April 11th, and we'll go from there, all right?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck.
I appreciate it.
Yep. And Jonathan Richardson is not coming, right? Okay.
Yes.
In his case, there were 3 counts of ag assault on a Leo, 1 count of possession of marijuana, 3 counts of resisting without, 1 count of disorderly. Found probable cause for all of those. I'm going to set bonds on those. So $2,000 each on the 3 counts of ag assault, $1,000 on the marijuana, $1,000 on the 3 counts of resisting, $1,000 on the disorderly, for a total of $11,000. Those cases coming back April 2nd, and I'll go ahead and appoint the public defender. He then does have an open misdemeanor case, 19MM224. I'll revoke his bond in that case, hold him pursuant to 903.0471, and hold him without bond until he comes back on that one on the 2nd of May. And that should take care of that. That should be everybody, right?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.